Chosen one, stop for a moment and listen. Heaven has paused everything around you because this is not coincidence, this is divine timing. You have been wondering if you made the right choice. You let go of something you wanted. You walked away from people who didn't understand your heart, and you stayed faithful even when no one was watching. You asked, Lord, did I do the right thing? And heaven answers now, yes, you did. The unseen world moved the day you chose obedience over comfort. You thought no one noticed when you closed the door and prayed instead of arguing. But heaven noticed. You thought no one cared when you cried quietly after forgiving someone who hurt you deeply. But heaven counted every tear. Every step of obedience has been a seed planted in the soil of eternity. The Spirit spoke through the prophet Jeremiah, chapter 17, verse 7. Blessed is the one who trusts in the Lord, whose confidence is in Him. You did not lose by trusting. You invested in something that cannot fade. Your obedience became the proof of your faith, and heaven has begun responding. What you surrendered did not disappear. It was placed into God's hands for safekeeping, where it will return, multiplied. This is why you have felt a stirring lately, a sense that something is shifting around you. The atmosphere is heavy with divine movement, and your spirit feels a quiet certainty even when nothing seems to make sense. That is the echo of heaven preparing your reward. You were tested in silence, but now heaven is preparing to make noise on your behalf. When you chose to stay pure while others compromised, you did the right thing. When you refused to retaliate, you did the right thing. When you kept giving even when you had little left, you did the right thing. The Father saw every act of unseen faithfulness. Your obedience did not just open doors for you, it shifted things for generations. There are blessings being written into your lineage because you chose righteousness over rebellion. You are breaking cycles simply by choosing to walk differently. The heavens record your faith not as a whisper, but as thunder that shakes the realm of darkness. This moment is your confirmation. The weight you carried was never punishment, it was preparation. Heaven does not forget obedience. Every time you said, I trust you, God wrote it down. Every time you resisted temptation, an angel applauded your strength. You will see it soon, doors opening that no man can shut, provision appearing where there once was drought, favor flowing in places that previously ignored you. You didn't chase it, and that's why it's coming. Your obedience attracted what striving never could. Chosen one, if this word resonates in your spirit, don't keep it to yourself. Share it. Let it reach another who is questioning whether their obedience matters. Tap the heart, subscribe, and comment the prophetic number 777 as your declaration. I trust the process. I know heaven saw my obedience. Heaven is not only remembering what you did, it is rewarding it. And when the blessing arrives, you will recognize it not by how loud it looks, but by the peace it carries. That peace is heaven's signature upon your obedience. Walk forward now, fearless and steady. The same God who watched your sacrifice is the one releasing your reward. Your story is shifting glory as the next chapter. Chosen one. The silence you walked through was never empty, it was sacred ground. There were moments when your soul felt stretched thin, when you questioned whether heaven had forgotten you. Yet, those were the very moments when your unseen obedience was forming a fragrance before God. Every sigh, every quiet surrender, every tear that hit the pillow became an offering. You didn't know it then, but you were worshiping in one of the purest forms, obedience through pain. There is a kind of faith that doesn't shout, it simply endures. You carried that faith. You didn't wait for applause or validation. You kept moving when no one said thank you. The world measures success by recognition, but heaven measures it by surrender. Every time you chose peace over pride, forgiveness over fury, you were writing your name deeper into the book of remembrance. According to what is revealed in the book of Proverbs in 1 chapter 3, verse 5, trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean not on your own understanding. You obeyed even when you didn't understand. That obedience was not weakness, it was power in its purest form. Heaven always responds to those who choose faith over logic, who choose trust when evidence is absent. There were nights you whispered, "Lord, I don't see how this ends well," yet you still said, "But I will obey." That's the moment heaven leaned closer. You didn't realize it, but your silent decisions built an altar, not of stone, but of faith. Every act of surrender placed another brick upon it until your life became a sanctuary for divine presence. When you said no to bitterness, when you blessed those who cursed you, the fragrance of your obedience rose before God as worship. You have been ministering to heaven without realizing it. God saw you when you walked away from what you wanted because He asked you to. He saw you close the door on what felt familiar, choosing trust instead of control. He saw you give even when your own hands were empty. None of it went unnoticed. These were not moments of weakness, they were moments of divine alignment. The pain you endured refined your faith. It stripped away everything false, leaving only what was eternal. You learned that obedience is not about understanding the why, but about trusting the who. You discovered that the true test of faith is not in the mountaintop experience, but in the valley's silence. And in that silence, heaven worked. While you questioned whether your obedience mattered, the Father was rearranging circumstances, softening hearts, opening unseen paths. He was protecting you from things you didn't even know could harm you. Sometimes His greatest mercy was in saying no when you wanted a yes. The world might call your choices foolish, but heaven calls them faithful. You have chosen the narrow path, and though few travel it, it leads to glory. Every act of quiet surrender has been preparing you for something weighty, something eternal. You may not see the full picture yet, but it is forming. Like a seed buried beneath the soil, your obedience is germinating in secret. There will be a season when it breaks through, visible for all to see, and in that moment, you will understand why you had to endure the hidden years. So rest now. The silent sacrifice was never wasted. Heaven's timing is exact, and God's memory flawless. Nothing you've done in obedience will return void. The same God who saw Abraham lift the knife, who saw Hannah whisper her prayer, who saw Esther risk her life, He saw you. The night of your silent obedience is ending. Dawn is near, and light will soon reveal what your faith built in the dark. Chosen one. There was a turning point in your story so subtle, so sacred that heaven marked it as the moment everything began to change. It was not the day you received the blessing. It was the day you surrendered your will. You remember it well, the breaking point when you finally said, "God, I can't carry this anymore." You let go of control, and heaven called it worship. That quiet surrender carried more power than 1,000 loud declarations. When you stopped fighting for your own plan and began trusting His, the spiritual atmosphere shifted. Angels recorded your surrender as obedience, and from that very moment, things began to move. As Jesus Himself declared in the Gospel of Matthew, chapter 16, verse 24, "Whoever wants to be my disciple must deny themselves and take up their cross and follow me." You didn't realize it then, but that single decision to follow, even when it hurt, was the key that unlocked divine order in your life. You were not losing, you were aligning. You were not being punished, you were being positioned. The moment you surrendered, heaven released strategy. You thought you were letting something die, but in truth, God was making room for what would truly live. Surrender is not defeat, it is partnership with divine timing. You once prayed for peace, and He gave you stillness. You once prayed for strength, and He gave you surrender. God knew that the battle wasn't around you, it was within you. Once you laid down your fight, heaven took up your cause. Now look closely at your journey. Notice how every time you surrendered something painful, grace replaced it. When you let go of the person who could not go with you, peace returned. When you released the dream that was no longer His will, joy returned. The moment you surrendered control, heaven returned direction. The voice of God doesn't always thunder, sometimes it whispers. And you heard that whisper. You obeyed it when it made no sense, when logic fought against faith. That's when the spiritual chains began to break quietly, invisibly, perfectly. The reason you feel lighter now is because you are no longer carrying what God already claimed. Every act of surrender releases weight. Every yes to God creates space for something greater to arrive. This is why your spirit feels new again. He has been reshaping you from the inside out. There will come a day when you look back on this season and realize it wasn't loss at all, it was liberation. You will see that surrender was not the end of your story, but the beginning of your authority. Your obedience was not weakness, it was wisdom. You chose trust when others chose control. And because of that, you are now walking under a new anointing, the kind that only comes from those who have been refined by surrender. So, take a breath. The battle you once tried to fight alone now belongs entirely to God. You are no longer striving, you are being carried. The one who began this work in you will be faithful to complete it. If this word speaks deeply to your heart, comment below, I choose surrender. Write it as a declaration of faith. You're not admitting defeat, you're confirming victory. I choose surrender means you trust God's timing more than your own. It means you release control and invite heaven to lead. When you type it, you're not just writing words. You are signing your agreement with divine order, opening the door for peace to reign in your life. Chosen one, what you release in obedience, God returns in glory. This is the beauty of surrender. He never takes without giving back greater. Chosen one, there are battles you fought that no one will ever know about. Not the kind fought with fists or words, but the kind waged in silence inside your own heart, in the midnight hours when your thoughts turned heavy, when your prayers felt unanswered. You carried wars no one could see and victories no one celebrated. Yet heaven recorded every moment. The unseen realm has always watched your perseverance. Every time you stood back up when life knocked you down, you made a sound that echoed beyond this world, a sound of defiance against darkness. You thought you were barely surviving, but in truth you were triumphing in the spirit. What the enemy intended to destroy you only deepened your roots. The word of God declares in the book of Psalms, chapter 34, verse 19. Many are the afflictions of the righteous, but the Lord delivers him out of them all. You, chosen one, have lived this verse. The battles you faced were never random, they were tailored to reveal the strength within you. Each trial peeled back another layer of fear, revealing the endurance that heaven planted inside you long before the pain began. Remember those nights you cried, Lord, I can't take another blow. Heaven heard. Angels were dispatched to hold you when no human hand could reach you. And while you thought God was silent, He was actually fighting for you in realms your eyes couldn't see. Some of your greatest victories looked like survival. You didn't see the full war, only the small portion allowed to reach you. God shielded you from what would have crushed you. You were never abandoned. You were covered. The times you felt weakest were the times grace carried you the most. There were moments you questioned your worth because of what you endured. You wondered, if I'm chosen, why does it hurt this much? But understand, this being chosen doesn't mean being spared from pain. It means being sustained through it. The anointing you carry was forged in the fire of unseen battles. Every scar is proof that darkness tried but failed to destroy you. Your pain was not wasted. Every tear watered the soil where your next season of growth will bloom. You may not have realized it, but even your heartbreak was holy. It softened your spirit, made you compassionate, made you sensitive to the whisper of God. The battles you fought in private built a depth of empathy that will become your greatest weapon in ministry. And though you still carry some of the weight, heaven is shifting it now. You are stepping into a time where your pain will speak for you. You won't have to explain what you've endured. Your presence will carry authority that only battle-tested souls possess. People will feel peace when you walk in the room, not because of your words, but because of what you've overcome. What you survived wasn't small. You walked through betrayal and didn't become bitter. You faced rejection and didn't harden your heart. You stood in the middle of loss and still raised your hands to worship. That is strength the world can't comprehend. You are not broken. You are battle-scarred and heaven-approved. The wounds that once bled now shine as reminders of victory. The very areas where you thought you were defeated are now your points of authority. God didn't allow you to face those storms just to survive. He allowed them so you could learn to command peace within them. Chosen one. You may not have received applause for these hidden victories, but heaven has already crowned you in secret. There are rewards stored up for every silent battle you endured faithfully. You fought unseen wars, and now unseen blessings are on their way. Chosen one. Heaven keeps records far more precise than any earthly memory. There is a ledger that does not fade with time, a divine account of every act of obedience, every sacrifice, every quiet yes spoken when your heart was trembling. You did not know it, but every moment of faithfulness has been written into eternity. Heaven's ink does not dry, it lives. You see, obedience is never lost in the noise of this world. When you gave, even though you had little, heaven noted it. When you forgave the one who wounded you, heaven marked it. When you stayed kind in the face of cruelty, heaven honored it. Nothing escapes his gaze, but not the sigh, not the silence, not the single prayer whispered in exhaustion. As the Apostle Paul wrote in the letter to the Hebrews, chapter 6, verse 10, God is not unjust. He will not forget your work and the love you have shown him as you have helped his people and continue to help them. You need to know this: every act of love was a deposit in heaven's account. And now, the interest of grace is multiplying. Blessings are maturing in hidden places, waiting for the perfect season to be released into your hands. Many look at success as something that can be seen, but heaven's definition is different. True reward begins invisibly. It grows in character, in peace, in the quiet restoration of your heart. The public recognition you once thought you needed will pale in comparison to the inward glory that obedience has built inside you. There will be moments ahead when you suddenly feel a wave of peace wash over you for no reason. That is heaven's acknowledgement. When opportunities arise from places you never expected, that is heaven remembering. You do not have to strive. Your obedience already speaks louder than your efforts. Heaven's ledger is balanced by grace, not by numbers. You will never owe God. Instead, he delights in outgiving you. Every time you poured out, he made a secret promise to pour back double. Every moment you served unseen, he prepared a public moment to honor you, not for vanity, but for testimony. And now, the pages are turning. The story of your faithfulness is about to be read aloud by the wind of divine favor. People will not understand why doors open for you, why peace follows you, why blessings seem to arrive unannounced. But heaven will know it's simply harvest time for your obedience. Chosen one. If these words stir something deep within you, take this moment as sacred. Let your response not be mechanical but meaningful. Perhaps you lift your hand in gratitude, or maybe you simply breathe and smile, knowing heaven saw it all. And if your spirit leads you, let this message travel like a feather caught in the breath of God. Allow it to drift across hearts and homes. When you choose to like, you breathe agreement into heaven's whisper. When you share, you release a spark into someone's darkness. When you subscribe, you plant your roots beside this river of faith so the flow of grace never stops reaching you. These are not commands, they are gentle invitations. You are free to move with the Spirit, to spread light the way dawn spreads across the earth, quietly but unrelentingly. You are seen, you are remembered, and your reward is already unfolding. Chosen one, when you stayed faithful even when everything seemed still, something began to shift in the unseen. You couldn't see it with your eyes, but heaven was realigning the atmosphere around you. Obedience is not just an action, it's a sound. And your obedience made a sound so powerful that angels moved at its echo. You thought nothing was happening, but heaven was in motion. Every moment you resisted doubt, light pushed back the darkness. Every time you chose faith over fear, the unseen world adjusted in your favor. You didn't realize it, but while you waited, heaven was working. As the prophet wrote in the scroll of Habakkuk, chapter 2, verse 3, "For the vision is yet for an appointed time. Though it tarry, wait for it, because it will surely come. It will not delay." The shift began when you refused to give up. Heaven noticed the days you prayed with trembling hands. Heaven noted the hours you stood still while storms raged. Every not yet from God was never rejection, it was redirection. The waiting didn't break you, it built you. The silence didn't punish you, it prepared you. The spirit realm has been busy, even while your world appeared quiet. The delay you faced was heaven adjusting pieces, turning hearts, and preparing paths. You were not waiting in vain. You were being strategically positioned. What God is about to unfold will make every unanswered prayer suddenly make sense. There were angels sent before you, paving the way in unseen corridors. Relationships are being rearranged, opportunities are being placed, and what once seemed impossible is slowly being drawn toward your destiny. The spiritual currents are flowing in your direction because of your endurance. Chosen one, this shift is not small, it's generational. You are standing at the threshold of fulfillment, the moment where promise and patience collide. And all of it began because you chose to stay. The spiritual air is different now. Heaven's movement is quiet but unstoppable, like dawn creeping over the horizon. Soft yet absolute. What was once closed is beginning to breathe again. You can feel it even now, that deep stirring in your chest, that inner assurance that something holy is unfolding. That's not emotion, that's alignment. Your obedience has reached heaven's threshold, and the response is already in motion. You are not fighting anymore, you are flowing. The heavens are shifting, and soon the evidence will meet your eyes. Chosen one, if you sense this word resonates within your spirit, write this prophetic number in the comments, 888. It symbolizes new beginnings, triple restoration, and heaven's completion. When you write it, you're not just typing digits, you are declaring agreement with what heaven is already releasing. You are saying, I believe the shift has come. Let that number be your whisper of faith, a quiet signal to heaven that you recognize what's happening in the unseen. Stay steady, the shift is not coming, it's already here. When you comment 8 or 88, you are not just typing a number, you are aligning with divine timing. You're declaring, I see the unseen. It's your quiet handshake with heaven, your way of saying, Lord, I'm ready for what you've been preparing behind closed doors. Let it be your spiritual footprint, small, yet eternal. As you write 888, imagine the ripples it sends through heaven's waters, carrying your faith farther than words ever could. It is not ritual, it's revelation, a signal that your waiting has turned into awakening. Chosen one. Before the light broke through, you felt the pressure of darkness press harder than ever. The weight of disappointment almost crushed you. It was as if every prayer hit a ceiling, every door stayed shut, every promise seemed delayed beyond reason. But what you didn't see was that the breaking point was the birthplace of breakthrough. Heaven never wastes pain. The crushing was not punishment, it was the sound of transformation. When everything seemed to be falling apart, it was actually falling into place. You were standing in the tension between endings and beginnings, between testing and reward. The ancient words recorded in Romans chapter 8, verse 18. Still echo today. I consider that our present sufferings are not worth comparing with the glory that will be revealed in us. Those words were written for moments like the one you lived through. You wondered why everything had to hurt so deeply. But heaven was proving what was hidden inside you. Fire does not destroy gold, it reveals it. The breaking point was never meant to kill you. It was meant to uncover the purity of your faith. The pressure you endured forced dormant strength to awaken. The tears you cried were the water that softened the soil for your next season. Even when your hands trembled, you still obeyed. Even when your heart broke, you still believed. That is what separates the called from the chosen faith that refuses to die. You may not realize it, but the moment you whispered, Lord, I still trust you, while everything burned around you, heaven roared in response. Angels stood at attention, for faith like that shakes the foundations of hell. The darkness that surrounded you wasn't evidence of God's absence, it was proof that something holy was about to emerge. The breaking point is sacred. It's the place where the human will meet divine purpose. You thought you were being shattered, but you were being reshaped. You were not losing control. You were losing the illusion of it. And in that surrender, your true strength was revealed. Think of a seed before it sprouts. It must split. The outer shell must break for life to emerge. You were that seed buried, unseen, pressured, and cracking under the weight. Yet even in that breaking, something inside you was coming alive. The breaking was the beginning. You are not who you were before the storm. You carry a quiet authority now, one that only the broken and rebuilt can possess. You have learned to speak peace in chaos, hope in despair, and faith in darkness. You carry the fragrance of endurance, and wherever you go, that aroma testifies that God was faithful. Heaven did not allow you to reach your breaking point to leave you there. The moment you thought it was over, resurrection began. The very pressure that pushed you to tears became the same pressure that propelled you into purpose. And now, chosen one, you stand on the other side not empty, but refined. The breaking point was not your end. It was the final test before your unveiling. The glory that follows will not only restore what you lost, it will redefine what you believed was possible. Heaven is about to reveal what the pain was preparing. You will soon see that what once broke you has now built you. Every tear became a tool in the hand of God, shaping your destiny. The night did not win, it merely announced the dawn that was already on its way to crown you with purpose. Chosen one. There was a season when God hid you. It wasn't rejection, it was refinement. You mistook the silence for abandonment, but heaven was simply protecting you from exposure before your roots were strong enough to bear the weight of your calling. Hiddenness is not punishment, it is divine preservation. There were opportunities that slipped away, relationships that dissolved without reason, doors that closed just as you reached them. You thought you failed, but heaven was whispering, "Not yet." God saw what you couldn't see. He saw that early exposure would have crushed what he was still developing in you. We are reminded through the writings of David in the Psalms, chapter 27, verse 5. "For in the day of trouble he will keep me safe in his dwelling. He will hide me in the shelter of his sacred tent and set me high upon a rock." You were hidden in the shelter of his purpose. While others were being seen, you were being shaped. While others were celebrated, you were being strengthened. You were never behind, you were being built. Every hidden season is heaven's strategy to prepare you for visible glory. Think of how a seed is buried. The soil presses down, the darkness surrounds, the silence stretches on. Yet beneath that stillness, the seed is bursting with unseen life. You were that seed. The weight that covered you was not a coffin, it was cultivation. The hiding was heaven's way of ensuring that when you rise, you will remain. In your hidden place, God worked on your heart. He refined motives, stripped away pride, and taught you to depend on his whisper instead of the crowd's applause. You learned to value peace over popularity, integrity over influence. You became intimate with stillness, comfortable with quiet, confident in waiting. What looked like inactivity was incubation. Your hiddenness was a holy womb. Heaven was forming character, endurance, and discernment inside you. When you felt overlooked, heaven was simply writing your name into a greater script. You were not forgotten. You were being preserved for a divine unveiling. Those who rise too soon often fall quickly, but those who are hidden by God rise unshakably. The delay was not to diminish you, it was to develop you. Every not now from God was protecting your anointing from being mishandled. There were moments you prayed for visibility, not realizing that exposure without foundation can become a curse. So, heaven kept you close, tucked under his wing, teaching you the rhythm of divine timing. You learned to move when he moves, to rest when he rests, to trust when he hides. And now, the season of hiddenness is shifting. You can feel the quiet stirring the sense that something long buried is beginning to break the surface. It's not because you chased opportunity, but because obedience ripened into readiness. Heaven hides what it values most, and your season in obscurity was proof of heaven's trust in you. When God hides you, he is writing a story that cannot be undone by human interference. Every unseen prayer, every silent battle, every moment you wanted to be understood but weren't, he saw it all, and he smiled. Because he knew what he was making. Chosen one, your hidden season is holy history now. You are stepping out not as who you were, but as who he formed you to be. The covering that once concealed you will now become your testimony. The silence that once surrounded you will now become your strength. You were never waiting to be discovered. Heaven always knew exactly where you were. Chosen one. Do you remember the seasons when you waited and waited, yet nothing seemed to move? You stood still while others rushed ahead. You watched doors open for people who hadn't prayed as hard, who hadn't sacrificed as much. You wondered if heaven had overlooked you. But now clarity comes. Waiting was never a waste. It was your weapon. Stillness has its own power. You thought you were standing still, but in truth you were being strengthened. The silence trained you to hear the voice behind the noise. The waiting shaped your heart to move with heaven's rhythm instead of the world's hurry. You were not forgotten, you were fortified. According to what is written in the book of Lamentations, chapter 3, verse 25, "The Lord is good to those whose hope is in him, to the one who seeks him." You chose to remain still when everything in you wanted to act. You waited when it would have been easier to force the outcome, and that patience became a sanctuary for divine intervention. When you stopped pushing, God started moving. When you stopped grasping, heaven started giving. It was never about inactivity, it was about trust. The delay was building your discernment, teaching you to recognize when it's time to move and when it's time to rest. Waiting stripped away your need to control and replaced it with confidence in His timing. Look back and see the wisdom in the waiting. If the door had opened when you demanded, it would have been premature. You would have walked into a blessing not yet built to sustain you. Heaven's pace is protective, not punishing. The stillness you resented was the very soil where maturity grew. There were days when patience felt like punishment, but heaven was cultivating roots. You learned to find peace without proof, to believe without evidence. That is the kind of faith that terrifies darkness quiet, unshakable, anchored. The reward for waiting is not just what you receive, but who you become. You have become steady. You have become discerning. You now carry the strength of stillness, the power of a soul that refuses to be rushed. The next time life delays, you'll recognize it not as denial, but as divine design. Chosen one. You are now walking in the aftermath of sacred patience. Heaven's reward for stillness is always greater than you expect. There is a beauty reserved only for those who wait well. If this message stirs your spirit, type in the comments, "I will wait." Those 3 words are not resignation, they are revelation. I will wait means you choose peace over panic, trust over haste, faith over fear. It is your agreement with heaven's pace, your declaration that you refuse to move before grace moves first. When you write it, you are anchoring your heart again in divine timing, telling heaven, "I am steady, even here." You are not behind. You are being perfectly aligned. The stillness was never stagnation, it was strength in disguise. And soon, the reward for your waiting will appear so naturally. You'll realize it was growing all along. When you type, "I will wait," you're not declaring passivity, you're declaring peace. You're saying, "I trust the author more than the outcome." Each letter becomes a seed, and heaven hears your patience as worship rising softly from the soil of surrender. Write it with intention, as a quiet offering. Let those words breathe for you. When you say, "I will wait," you align your heart with heaven's tempo, inviting divine order to lead your every step in perfect rhythm. Chosen one, you can feel it, can't you? The faint tremor beneath the surface of your life, the quiet hum that tells you something is unlocking. Heaven has begun to turn the key. The very doors that once resisted you are now beginning to yield. You've knocked long enough. Now the hinges are loosening. But these are not ordinary doors. They are living gateways carved from years of faith, tears, and surrender. They do not open with force. They open with favor. And that favor is finally finding you. The Word of God declares in the book of Revelation, chapter 3, verse 8, "Behold, I have set before you an open door, which no one can shut." Heaven never forgot the prayers you whispered in exhaustion. It never forgot the times you obeyed in silence or loved when it cost you. Those quiet choices became golden keys in the Spirit, and now they fit perfectly into the locks that once defied you. Doors are opening not because you chased them, but because you were faithful when they stayed closed. That's how heaven works. It waits until your character can carry the weight of what's waiting. What once looked like delay was preparation for divine release. Picture this: you are standing before a corridor lined with countless doors. Some represent relationships, others opportunities. Some dreams you buried long ago. As you take one step forward, light seeps through the cracks. The handles turn with ease. You don't need to push, you only need to walk. Every door that opens now will open by grace, not striving. You have passed the test of trust, and heaven is rewarding it with effortless movement. The same God who closed doors to protect you is now opening them to promote you. These openings won't just bring blessing, they'll bring recognition of what's been quietly growing inside you. Where you were once overlooked, you will now be seen. Where you were once underestimated, you will now be established. The very rooms that once ignored you will now need what you carry. But remember, not every open door means enter quickly. Some are invitations to listen. Some are pauses wrapped in opportunity. Heaven's guidance will tell you which threshold is yours. You will know by peace, the kind that hums like soft wind through an open field. Chosen one, when the doors open, walk through them with humility. Do not rush, and do not shrink. The light that welcomes you is not there to blind, it's there to reveal who you've become. You are not the same one who knocked years ago. You have grown in wisdom, in discernment, in strength. And if this message reaches your spirit, let it settle like sunlight on your soul. Allow gratitude to rise naturally. You don't need grand gestures, just quiet acknowledgement that heaven has been faithful. And if your heart feels led, let this word travel like a soft breeze. When you like, it's as though you're lifting a candle to say, I see the light. When you share, you open another window for that light to touch someone else's darkness. And when you subscribe, you're choosing to keep your spirit near this river of reminders where hope flows steady and truth never runs dry. No pressure, no demand, only the gentle rhythm of grace inviting you to move with it. The doors are open, chosen one. Walk through with peace and let your gratitude be the sound that fills the hallway of heaven. Chosen one, it is time to understand what heaven has been trying to show you all along. You were never behind. Every delay, every detour, every pause you mistook for stagnation was actually a divine alignment. You were never late. You were being led. The world told you to hurry, to match its frantic rhythm, to measure success by speed. But heaven moves by seasons, not seconds. God is not interested in how quickly you arrive, but in who you become along the journey. Every moment of not yet was an act of mercy, not misfortune. Heaven speaks through the words in Ecclesiastes chapter 3, verse 11. He has made everything beautiful in its time. How many times did you look around and wonder why others advanced while you stood still? You saw them celebrated while you remained hidden. Yet what you didn't see was that God was protecting your harvest from premature exposure. What grows too fast often wilts too soon. You were being rooted while others rushed ahead. You see, divine timing is not delay, it is choreography. Each step, each pause, each redirection was part of heaven's design to place you exactly where you were meant to be. Exactly when you were meant to arrive. You did not miss anything. Everything meant for you is still waiting for your touch. There were seasons when you cried, Lord, have I fallen behind? And heaven whispered, Child, you are precisely on time. The pace of purpose cannot be measured by comparison. Your story unfolds according to heaven's calendar, not the world's clock. If you had received certain blessings earlier, they would have overwhelmed you. If you had entered some rooms before you were ready, the weight of expectation might have crushed what was still forming inside you. So God, in His kindness, withheld the good to preserve the great. You have been walking the scenic route, not the shortcut, and that makes all the difference. Along the way, you picked up lessons that will soon serve you in ways you can't yet imagine. The detours developed depth. The delays strengthened discernment. What looked like wandering was actually wisdom in motion. You must stop mourning lost time, for none of it was lost. Every year, every setback, every lonely moment was a thread woven into a tapestry you're only beginning to see. When the full picture appears, you will realize that not a single stitch was wasted. God's plan for you has never been fragile. It does not break under pressure or expire with delay. It bends, adapts, and reroutes until it leads you to the exact destination heaven intended. You are not late. You are layered with wisdom, ready to handle what's next. Chosen one, pause and breathe. Release the regret that clings to what should have been. Time itself bows to the one who directs your path. You are right where you need to be, carrying everything you need to carry. The waiting did not disqualify you, it refined you. Soon, you will step into rooms where the pace finally matches your preparation. You will see how every slow step built your stamina for the long journey ahead. You will no longer envy those who seem to arrive early, because you'll realize you were never behind, they were simply on a different assignment. The timeline of heaven is precise, and your steps are ordered. Keep walking. The appointed time is not coming, it's unfolding. Even now, with every quiet breath you take. Chosen one, the air around you is changing. You may not see it yet, but heaven is preparing a season of multiplication. The seeds you sowed in tears are about to burst through the soil of time, and what returns to you will not be small, it will be multiplied, pressed down, and overflowing. You gave when you had little. You loved when you were hurting. You forgave when you were bleeding. Heaven counted it all, and now the scales of grace are tipping in your favor. What once seemed barren is now breathing life again. As was spoken in the sacred texts of old, the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, verse 12 declares, "The Lord will open the heavens, the storehouse of his bounty, to send rain on your land in season, and to bless all the work of your hands." Heaven's rain is coming, and when it comes, it won't drizzle, it will pour. Every act of obedience, every quiet offering, every patient prayer has matured into spiritual fruit. You will find abundance where you once found only resistance. The multiplication season isn't just about increase in possessions. It's about expansion of purpose. Your capacity to love, to create, to carry light, it's all growing. Heaven is enlarging your heart to hold what's next. You're stepping into divine overflow. This is not random luck, it's divine law. You sowed faith, and now faithfulness is returning. You sowed kindness, and now favor will chase you. You sowed endurance, and now strength will surround you. The cycle of return has begun. Remember the times you felt empty. Heaven was not taking from you, it was making room. God cannot fill what is already full. Your surrender cleared the space where his abundance now flows. The things you released in pain are about to return wrapped in peace. The same hands that once held ashes will now cradle beauty. The same heart that once ached with loss will soon overflow with joy. You will recognize heaven's touch by its gentleness. It restores without rush and multiplies without measure. Chosen one, don't be surprised when what you lost comes back in forms you never imagined. It may not look the same, but it will feel like redemption. It will fit your healed heart better than what was taken. Heaven never gives back less, it always gives back more. If this message stirs something deep within you, write this prophetic number in the comments: 144. It symbolizes divine order and complete restoration, the perfection of what was broken, multiplied 12-fold. When you write 144, you're saying, "Heaven, establish your fullness in me." You're declaring that every seed you've sown will now come into alignment, that what was scattered will be gathered into harmony. This number is not random, it's the language of heaven's architecture, the pattern of promises made whole. When you write 144, you're building an altar of agreement, a visible reminder that multiplication isn't chaos. It's order birthed by faith. Type it not as superstition, but as revelation. Let 144 become your seal of trust, your way of saying, I'm ready for divine completion. The rain is near. Chosen one, lift your face to the sky. Heaven is about to pour. When you comment 144, you're not summoning chance, you're stepping into divine symmetry. You're saying, Lord, bring order to my overflow, allowing heaven's pattern to settle every scattered piece within you. Write 144 as your faith made visible. Each digit breathes agreement, 1 for unity, 4 for foundation, 4 again for fulfillment. Together, they whisper, it is finished, it is full, it is mine. Chosen one, there will come a moment when heaven no longer hides what it has been doing in silence. What was built in the dark will begin to shine in the light, and those who once doubted you will witness the hand of God upon your life. The same mouths that spoke against you will speak of his faithfulness. It is written in the book of Psalms, chapter 23, on verse 5. You prepare a table before me in the presence of my enemies. You anoint my head with oil, my cup overflows. For a long time you felt misunderstood, set aside, misread, even mocked. You did not defend yourself, not because you were weak, but because heaven told you to stay silent. You wanted to explain, to prove your innocence, to justify your choices. Yet something in your spirit whispered, be still. That stillness was not defeat, it was trust. Heaven does not need to argue on behalf of the anointed. God's proof always arrives in timing, not in talk. When he moves publicly, so that those who once dismissed you will see the contrast between man's opinion and heaven's intention. The time of quiet endurance was necessary. It stripped your dependence on human approval and deepened your reliance on divine affirmation. Now, what was whispered in private will be proclaimed through favor. Not for pride, but for purpose, because heaven never vindicates you to elevate your ego. It vindicates you to exalt his name. You have endured being overlooked. You have endured betrayal. The sting of being misunderstood by those you loved, and the ache of being misjudged by those who never knew your heart. But what they said in haste, heaven is about to reverse in truth. The tables are turning not with vengeance, but with vindication wrapped in peace. Your obedience has become your defense. You will not need to explain what God is revealing. The fruit will speak for itself. Where they expected to see you fail, they will see you flourish. Where they thought you were finished, they will see you rise. This is the beauty of divine justice. It doesn't shout, it simply manifests. You will walk through familiar spaces soon, and the atmosphere will feel different. Not because they changed, but because you have. You will carry the quiet power of one who no longer needs to prove anything. The same people who once doubted your worth will wonder how peace follows you so effortlessly. Heaven has always had a way of using your pain as prophecy. The rejection you faced became the platform for redemption. The silence you kept became the soil for divine speech. You were never abandoned in the fire, you were being refined to shine. And now, the glory is rising. Not the kind that demands attention, but the kind that draws it naturally. You won't have to chase opportunity. Opportunity will recognize you by the oil on your life. You won't have to announce what's next. Your presence will do it for you. The beauty of this moment is that your enemies are not being destroyed, they are being educated. They will witness how mercy triumphs over judgment, how grace restores what gossip tried to ruin. And when they see it, they will know this truth: no one can curse what God has chosen to bless. Chosen one, let your heart remain soft. Vindication is not a call to pride, it's a call to gratitude. You are not rising to prove them wrong. You are rising to prove that love always wins. Chosen one, you may not realize it, but your light has been growing brighter with every battle you've survived. There was a time when you questioned whether the glow inside you was fading, when life's heaviness seemed to dim your hope. Yet light does not vanish in darkness, it deepens. It gathers strength in silence until the appointed time to shine. It was proclaimed in the Gospel of Matthew, chapter 5, verse 14. You are the light of the world. A city set on a hill cannot be hidden. That is who you are, a beacon shaped by the storms, a living flame that refuses to go out. The same pain that once threatened to extinguish your spirit has become the very oil that fuels your glow. The rejection, the misunderstandings, the heartbreak, they all refined your radiance. You were never meant to blend in. Heaven set you apart. And that distinction was not meant to make you proud, but purposeful. Some lights are small and gentle. Others are meant to guide whole nations. Yours was never small. It just needed the right night to reveal its magnitude. When people looked away, when opportunities seemed to pass you by, heaven was quietly adjusting your elevation. You were being placed higher, not in arrogance, but in visibility, so that the world could see the evidence of grace. Every step, every scar, every why, God moment was a brushstroke painting the masterpiece of your testimony. The darkness that surrounded you was never stronger than the light within you. It only served to frame it, to make its glow more distinct. And now, your life is becoming a living lighthouse, guiding others who are still adrift in their storms. You will not have to preach with words. Your peace will preach for you. There will be people drawn to you soon, not because of what you have, but because of what you carry. They will sense something sacred in your presence, a calm that cannot be explained. They will want to know what sustained you, how you kept your faith alive when everything fell apart, and in those moments, your story will be their map. Your light is not for performance, it's for purpose. You will illuminate paths for those too weary to see their own. You will speak gently into chaos and remind souls that dawn always follows night. You will embody what it means to shine without striving. And yes, some will envy that light, not because they hate you, but because they have forgotten their own. When that happens, do not hide your glow. Let them see it fully, for your courage to shine gives others permission to believe again. Every challenge you endured has purified your flame. It burns differently now, not for attention, but for healing. Your laughter carries peace. Your silence carries power. Your gaze carries mercy. That is the transformation of those chosen by heaven. They reflect His nature effortlessly. Chosen one, keep shining, even when no one applauds. Your light terrifies darkness. You were not placed on this earth to dim yourself for the comfort of others. You were placed here to awaken the sleeping hearts, to ignite faith where it has gone cold, to remind the world that God's light never fades, it multiplies through those who remain faithful. Your light can no longer be hidden. The time of quiet radiance is ending. The dawn has come and heaven's reflection is rising within you. Chosen one, the crown that once felt distant is no longer out of reach. Heaven has been shaping it quietly through your endurance, molding it from every moment you chose faith instead of fear, love instead of bitterness, humility instead of pride. You didn't stumble into purpose, you were sculpted into it. This is the hour when heaven crowns its faithful. You are not being crowned because of status, fame, or perfection. You are being crowned because you endured when you could have quit, because you remained teachable when pride wanted to speak louder. Heaven calls this kind of obedience royalty, as the Apostle Paul wrote in the second letter to Timothy, chapter 4. Verse 8. Now there is in store for me the crown of righteousness, which the Lord, the righteous judge, and will award to me on that day, and not only to me, but also to all who have longed for his appearing. This crown is not made of gold, it's made of grace. It cannot tarnish or fall. It is not worn for vanity, but for vision. It marks the ones who endured the refining fire without letting it consume them. You are one of them. When heaven crowns a soul, it does not place a burden on the head, but lightens the heart. You will begin to feel it, a deeper calm, a sharper discernment, a peace that moves with authority. That's the sign of someone who carries divine purpose. This next season of your life will require you to walk with a crown you can't always see but must always remember. Your crown represents calling. And calling is not glamorous. It is glorious. It is responsibility wrapped in favor. Honor clothed in humility. When you speak now, your words will carry new weight. When you move, heaven will move with you. But remember, crowns are not for isolation, they are for influence. The crown calls you to lift others, to bring heaven's kindness into human spaces. And if this message settles gently into your heart, let it stay there like a sunrise spilling across calm waters. There is no rush, no demand, just the quiet recognition that you are standing in a moment that heaven designed long before you knew its meaning. If your spirit feels the warmth of this truth, let your small gestures become silent worship. When you like this word, it's like lighting a candle in the temple of remembrance. When you share it, it's as though you're letting that light travel through the hallways of other hearts. And when you subscribe, you're not joining a channel, you're joining a circle of flame, where chosen ones remind each other that crowns are not heavy when shared in love. If words rise within you, let them flow in the comments, simple, sincere, like prayers written in the sand. Sometimes a few heartfelt words can echo longer than speeches. Write what your soul feels, not for attention, but as your whisper of agreement with heaven's rhythm. You are not here by accident. You are the living proof that endurance produces glory. Heaven has placed something weightless and eternal upon you, a crown woven from surrender, forgiveness, and unwavering trust. Chosen one, walk gently but walk proudly. You carry royal blood, and heaven knows your name. And as you move forward, remember, crowns are not worn for applause but for purpose. Let humility guard your steps, and let gratitude be the jewel that keeps it shining. The heavens lean close when the crowned walk in compassion. Every gentle act becomes a gleam of gold upon your unseen crown. Chosen one, this is the moment when everything that once felt distant begins to draw near. You have walked through storms, endured silence, and survived tests that would have broken lesser hearts. Now, you are stepping into a season where divine reward follows you like a faithful shadow, quietly, steadily, and unmistakably. The apostle reminds us in his letter to the Corinthians, 2nd Epistle, chapter 9, verse 8. And God is able to bless you abundantly, so that in all things at all times, having all that you need, you will abound in every good work. You are entering not just a season of receiving, but of resting. What once required effort will now flow with ease. The same roads that once resisted you will now carry you forward. This is what divine reward looks like, not chaos, but clarity, not exhaustion, but ease. Heaven's reward doesn't always arrive wrapped in luxury or loudness. Sometimes it comes in the form of peace that no storm can steal. Sometimes it's a door that opens softly after years of waiting. Sometimes it's the strength to smile without pretending. The reward is rarely about things, it's about wholeness. Every trial you endured was a deposit. Every moment of obedience was an investment. And now, heaven is returning the harvest with interest. You will find yourself surrounded by people who mirror your growth, opportunities that align with your purpose, and favor that fits your healed heart perfectly. You have been faithful in the valley, now heaven is leading you to the high ground. But even there, your spirit will remain humble. For divine reward is not given to inflate the ego, it is given to expand compassion. You will bless others effortlessly because you will remember the days when you had nothing but faith. The light around you will not just illuminate your path, it will draw those who are still walking through shadow. They will come to you, not for answers, but for presence, for the peace that now lives within you. Your reward will not only bless your life, it will overflow into theirs. Chosen one, you are about to witness what happens when unseen faith meets divine timing. Every closed door, every not yet, every tear-stained prayer has brought you here to this sacred moment where heaven's promises begin to take tangible form. Don't expect the shift to arrive with fanfare. It will come quietly, like sunrise spilling over mountains, soft, steady, unstoppable. One morning, you'll wake up and realize that peace has replaced pressure, that joy has taken root where pain once grew. That's how heaven rewards. The transformation happens first within, then around. You will see redemption unfold in details so precise that you'll know it was never random. The friend who calls at just the right time, the provision that arrives exactly when needed. The door that opens the day after you stopped worrying, all of it will whisper, God remembered. This is the fruit of faithfulness. This is what it means to walk in divine reward, not chasing blessing, but being followed by it. You are stepping into days where peace will feel like the natural atmosphere of your life. Rest now in what you've sown. The labor was never in vain. The tears were never wasted, and the waiting was never empty. The God who watched you endure is now watching you enjoy. Chosen one, you are walking in the promise fulfilled. The harvest has come, and heaven is smiling. Chosen one, every step you've taken, every breath of faith you've released, has been building toward this, the eternal echo of obedience. Long after the world forgets names and titles, obedience still speaks. It vibrates through time like a song heaven never stops singing. Your yes to God has become part of that eternal music. As the Apostle John recorded in the Gospel, chapter 12, verse 26. Whoever serves me must follow me, and where I am, my servant also will be. My Father will honor the one who serves me. Honor. That is what obedience leaves behind, not applause, not fame, but a fragrance that heaven recognizes. Every act of surrender you gave freely has now become a legacy written in divine ink. You thought you were obeying for a moment, but heaven was shaping eternity through you. Your obedience has rippled far beyond your lifetime. It has become a light that will outlast you, a map for souls you may never meet. Each act of faith, every prayer whispered in the dark, every time you forgave without being asked, every moment you chose love instead of anger has carved new paths for generations to walk. You have built something unseen, something stronger than any monument made of stone. Monuments crumble, but obedience endures. It is the purest language of love between creator and creation, the quiet "I trust you" that transforms history. There will come a day when you look back and see how far those ripples traveled. A stranger's redemption will trace back to your intercession. A family's healing will trace back to your forgiveness. A generation's faith will trace back to your endurance. That is the power of a life surrendered. The obedience of one can awaken the destiny of many. Just as Abraham's trust opened covenant, just as Mary's let it be birthed salvation's story, your obedience has written new chapters in heaven's unfolding book. You may never see the full harvest in this life, but eternity already celebrates what your faith has planted. Heaven does not measure greatness by visibility. It measures by faithfulness. The ones who change the world are rarely the loudest. They are the ones who obey quietly when no one is watching. You are among them. You have walked through deserts carrying seeds that will one day bloom into gardens for others. The angels remember your tears as holy water. They remember your prayers as offerings. The Father remembers your surrender as sacred music. Every note of your obedience has become a symphony that plays even now in the throne room of heaven. Chosen one. Know this, your story is not ending, it is echoing. Each decision made in faith continues to reverberate through time, drawing others toward light. Your obedience has turned into invitation. Your endurance has turned into encouragement. Your scars have turned into songs of victory. This is the eternal reward, knowing that your yes to God became the bridge others will cross to find Him. You may never see the faces it reaches, but heaven will show you one day how far your faith traveled. When time fades and eternity stands clear, your obedience will still speak. It will whisper in heaven's language, I trusted you. I stayed. I believed. And the Father will smile. For that is the sound He loves most. The sound of a heart that never stopped obeying. The echo will never end, because obedience never dies. It only deepens, forever resonating in the halls of eternity. Chosen one, the message has reached its end, but your journey with heaven continues. You have walked through fire, through silence, through waiting, and now you stand wrapped in light. Everything written before this moment was never just a story. It was a mirror reflecting the truth of who you are: chosen, refined, unstoppable. You are no longer the one who wonders if God sees you. You are the one who knows He never looked away. Every page of this message was heaven whispering, I remember. And heaven still remembers. Now pause and breathe. Let this final moment settle into you like dawn settling over still waters. You've heard much, felt much, now simply receive. Let gratitude replace striving. Let peace take the space where fear once lived. If this word has found you, let your heart respond the way light responds to morning, gently, freely, beautifully. When you like this message, imagine it as a single flame flickering in agreement with heaven's warmth. When you share it, see that flame traveling, catching in the hearts of others until the night glows with quiet hope. And if your soul feels safe here, subscribe not out of duty but desire to remain within a stream where words wash over you like living water, reminding you of who you are every time the world makes you forget. Before you go, let your voice join the river of gratitude. Leave a comment not as noise, but as a prayer. Write what your spirit feels: a sentence, a sigh, a single word of thanks. The moment you do, heaven takes note, because worship is not always a song. Sometimes it's simply the courage to speak from the heart. You are the chosen one. Heaven sees, hears, and remembers as always.